Well, we continue to focus our lenses on the sorry state of South Africa's roads. Our reporters are showing you the degradation of several parts of the country. But right here in Johannesburg, we have eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu. He joins us with a quick update on the state of Gauteng's road network. Manqoba, good to have you back once again. I mean, earlier on, you did show us the state of our roads with that big, just a pothole, which was prohibiting motorists, buses and taxis from driving quite smoothly. And the big question was, when can we expect these roads to be fixed up?
Well, certainly, Tumed, and I think most of the motorists that use this road is exactly what they're asking themselves, because many of them are saying that some of these potholes have been on the roads for quite some time. And it's not only potholes that we're seeing here on the streets of Johannesburg. There are also some areas where seemingly sinkholes are also forming on some of the roads. And it just tells you, how degraded some of the roads here in the city are. This is one of them just behind me, where we see quite a number of potholes as well on the street, and it's one of the areas that is busy, utilized by taxis close to the taxi rank, well, of course, where many of the taxis will then commute from this particular area. But there's quite a huge concern for motorists as to the willingness of both the city as well as provincial government to fix these potholes, because many that we spoke to are saying that they report them, but it doesn't seem like they're fixed fast enough. And of course, they want to know what initiatives are there to try and fix those potholes. Earlier on, we spoke about that app that was launched, the Pothole Patrol, that says just this month alone there were over 500 potholes that were fixed. But to speak further on this, I'm joined by the spokesperson of the Roads and Transport Department here in Gauteng, Lesiba Mpia. Thank you, Lesiba, for your time. Let's start here. Quite a number of potholes. In fact, even here behind us where we're standing, we can see quite a number of potholes. The big question, of course, is when are these going to be fixed?
Thank you very much. The 34,000 network of roads in Gauteng is a shared responsibility between SANRAL, the city and the province. The province is responsible for 5,000 of that network. So basically what we have done is to conceptualize Ahalerona, which is a service delivery acceleration program. There was a call made by the Honorable Premier Panyaza Lesufi. It's implemented by the MEC Kiriboni Dialetlabela, which simply says that areas that are neglected in terms of service delivery in Gauteng, we have an immediate accelerator program. The last thing we want is for government to point fingers at each other and squabble around fixing of potholes, road infrastructure. You would have seen in the vote budget that the allocation to the transport department was around 8.4 billion rand, and 2.1 billion of that is designated to transport infrastructure, simply meaning planning designs, road infrastructure, network maintenance, and infrastructure work that are in the budget pipeline. But what we are saying is that we are taking this very serious, irrespective of which tier of government it rests. I can tell you where we are. It is an area of the city, but we have a memorandum of understanding. We work well with the MEC Kunene in terms of quicker turnaround of fixing this particular hole, potholes. We are in many areas of the province. We might not be in all of them at the same time, but we want to assure Gauteng residents that we are taking these potholes that are around the province very seriously, and we are attending to them with the speed it deserves.
515 potholes, according to Pothole Patrol, that have been fixed, and over 40,000 since its inception. That just tells you how big this problem is here in Gauteng. Do you concede that there's an issue as far as road infrastructure and the issue of potholes here, and how bad is the situation according to your own stats?
We do concede it's a very bad situation, but in terms of the interventions that the leadership has put forth, we are quite convinced that it will not become a pandemic. It is a very eyesore and irritation in terms of service delivery, but it is being attended to. We can assure you that in terms of the Ahalerona program, which is really smart mobility program, Reloaded. It was launched by, you have initiatives such as the Pothole Fix app, which is really an interaction between, a platform of interaction between the government and its people, to actually have a partnership in terms of the quicker response time on the potholes. So we are looking into them. Yes, we do concede that the situation is quite out of hand, and in terms of our partnerships with the city, the residents will definitely get it right.
And then just looking, at the apps, of course, there are those apps that are there, but many of the people we spoke to are saying that even when they report these potholes, when they report these bad roads, they're not fixed on time. They take weeks before being fixed. In fact, some of them have still not been fixed even now. So what assurance can you give to motorists about fixing these potholes and in terms of timelines?
Yeah. Look, in terms of time limits, as I've said, that the Gauteng road infrastructure is worth 34,000 kilometers, and it is a shared responsibility. What we do as a province is to ensure that we do visual inspection of the roads. We have our road infrastructure framework of South Africa, which is a RIFSA program. If you go out, those RIFSA people are on the streets every day in their orange overalls, patching potholes, cutting grass, ensuring that the pavements are clean and so forth. We have a situation whereby we make those meaningful interventions. The call that we are making is that municipality have got to play ball. We are happy that Ekurhuleni, the city of Ekurhuleni, the city of Joburg, Mfuleni, we are making interventions there. These cities that I've mentioned, including Sidibeng and Mohali City, are actually coming to the party. We are calling for the city of Tshwane to work with the province so that we can ultimately sign that memorandum of understanding, so that we as a province can have quicker turnarounds in terms of a collective effort of ensuring that we remove the red tape, because we don't want to have a situation where we say, no, the province is responsible for that, no, the city. We want to have a collective effort of ensuring that we combat potholes and we escalate the agenda of maintenance of our road. It is a safety issue. So ultimately we are of the same thinking that authorities, different as they are, will come to party, and we will ultimately eradicate all potholes in Gauteng.
How much of a factor are political issues playing, as far as some of the municipalities are concerned? We know that, of course, the city of Johannesburg has not been spared in terms of, the political instability in its own council. As we speak, there's a possible motion of no confidence against the incumbent mayor, and the previous mayor also didn't stay much long in office, but also the GRA. We see that the CEO has now, been removed from that particular institution. How much of an impact is this having on service delivery here, especially on the roads?
It has quite an adverse impact on service delivery. Governance requires seamlessness, so that you can have a partnership that works with the people of that particular government. So if at all government is not in sync, it's unstable, then you are going to have a downstream effect in terms of the service delivery, imperatives. So, of course, we are hoping that our political principles, cities as well as political parties that are within the cities will work together, ultimately for the benefit of the residents. Let's put political party differences aside and ensure that we actually heighten service delivery.
Okay. Thank you very much, Leslie Bampia from the Roads and Transport Department here in the province, just giving us, an update as far as their work is concerned to try and fix some of the issues on the roads here. I'm just going to ask my colleague Kamohelo Mahlakwane just to show you this road that we're here behind. You can just see the degradation there, Tumelo, and in fact, I think I see some bricks that have also just been placed, as well as stones, just to try and patch and fill up some of these gaping potholes here on the streets of Johannesburg. It is quite a dire situation. We drove around the city and we've seen quite a number of roads here in the city center itself that have been affected, and of course a headache for motorists who use these roads daily. We know that there have been quite a number of programs that have been put in place, the different apps that have been launched, but also a program by the National Transport Department that was launched last year, Vala Zonke, which was launched by the then Transport Minister Fikile Mbalula. But motorists saying that they're not seeing the fruits of these particular initiatives. They're not seeing any difference as far as the degradation and as far as some of the issues, the poor maintenance of road infrastructure is concerned here in Johannesburg.